moisturize my face and my lips. And so now I'm just gonna prime my face using the Nip and Fab Exfoliate Glycolic Fix Serum. And the bottle looks a little something like this, and I know it's a serum, but I do like to use it as my primer. I find that it actually surprisingly keeps my makeup on like all day, and kind of fills in those pores and just makes everything look so nice and smooth, and just gives a beautiful finish to my foundation. So that's what we're using today. Oh Jesus, I can't get the cap on. And then for foundation, let me find my foundation brush first. I'm gonna be using the Estee Lauder. It's the Double Wear, but it's the one that looks like this. It's like the Double Wear on the go or something like that, and it has like the little pumpy thingy that comes out and whatever. It's like the, I don't know, the compact one. Okay, we're gonna cover with concealer, but it has a really nice dewy finish, and it also has really good coverage. And it actually probably because it's part of the Double Wear line, it lasts a very long time, so that's really nice, especially when it's in combination with the Nip and Fab serum. I usually don't have to worry about those at all. Oh, moving things around now. For concealer, I'm going to use the NYX Full Coverage Concealer. It's just a little pot like this. And I'm going to actually use a beauty blender, but this one, technically, it's not a beauty blender. It's a beauty sponge by, like, I think it's called, like, the Cream Shop. But anyways, a beauty sponge. And I'm going to use that, but I'm actually, I haven't wet this, but it's okay. For like this concealer, it doesn't really matter. It'll still apply the same. Normally, I would say yes, it does matter if your sponge is wet. But I don't know, this consistency, I find that I like to use it with a sponge, and I also find that this product in particular, it works just fine whether it's, you know, wet or dry. But normally I say always wet your sponge. And I use on my lid as well, just to cover up any like veins or like little freckles or anything. Nope, don't fall. I feel like my under eye circles are still slightly visible, so I'm gonna use a little highlighting concealer underneath. And for that, I'm using the Rimmel Match Perfection concealer and highlighter. It looks a little something like this. Oh, there it is. Put a little down my nose as well. Center of my forehead. A little on my chin. And I'm going to use my brush again to blend all of that out. Alrighty, now that I'm looking bright and awake and covered, before I set my makeup, I'm gonna apply my Maybelline Master Fix setting spray, and that's gonna kind of, one, help it last a little longer, of course, but it's also gonna help it melt into my skin, and I just think that it makes everything look better when I do this step before my powder. So to set my foundation and everything, I'm going to be using the Maybelline Fit Me Loose Finishing Powder. It looks like that. And I'll use this brush. And the finish of this powder is definitely more matte, but I find that it's still, what's the word I'm looking for? It doesn't take away from the dewiness of my foundation too much. So it really just creates like a more natural, dewy finish. Personally, I mean, if you have really, really dry skin, you can obviously skip this step. Like, you don't have to, you can use whatever products are best for your skin tone, of course. And if, if you're more dry and powder isn't your thing, then by all means, don't powder, but I don't trust my skin to go a day without powder, so I'm not really oily, but I can get oily, and my foundation will start to like move and just get greasy, and it's not a pretty sight when I forget to powder, so I never forget to powder. So I'm gonna prime my eyes now, and I'm using the Urban Decay Primer Potion. Of course, as soon as I set my foundation and everything, my nose starts to itch. Isn't that how it always works? I'm just getting a little tiny bit on one finger. I'm gonna spread it between two fingers and just put it on my eyelid, of course. Okie dokie. I'm taking my NYX Lid Lingerie palette, taking the nude shade right there, and I am just going to set my primer, create a nice even base. And this step really, really helps. It helps your eyeshadows go on way smoother. When I started doing this step, because I used to not ever do this step, I used to be like, it doesn't matter, it ain't gonna make a difference, I don't need to do that. But then I started doing it, and I noticed a difference. So I've just continued doing it since. So now for a transition shade, I am going to go into my Naked Smokey palette. And it would help if I figured out what brush I was going to use. I'll use this one. And I'm going to take Combust right here, and as you can probably tell, it's my favorite out of like all the shadows because it's basically gone. Besides, what was that one? 13? 13's been done and gone for a long time. And honestly, Combust is pretty much on its way out. But I love it so much that I'm getting every last use I can out of it. And this is just gonna go in my crease. And I'm honestly not gonna be really neat with it, slapping it pretty much everywhere, because if I bring it up too high, it's okay. I can always, it's light enough that I can just blend my brow bone shade and blend it back down. So yeah, it's just gonna go messily in the crease. I'm gonna go into the Maybelline and Shayla collaboration, the City Mini palette. Looks like this. Taking this brown shade right here. I'll take a slightly smaller fluffy brush for this. You can use like the same brush, but I'm just gonna go a little smaller. And I know I'm palette hopping a lot right now, but I promise you, these are the only 3 palettes that I'm moving around with. Just the Lid Lingerie, the Urban Decay Smokey, and this City Mini. And that is gonna go in our crease as well, but obviously not as messy. And yeah, I don't want it going as far up or anything like that. And I'm also going to take it into the outer corner as well. Okay. So I just finished putting that brown down and blending it all in, making it look nice and pretty. So now I'm just going to deepen it a smidge further. I'm gonna go back into that Lid Lingerie palette. I'm gonna get a even smaller brush to go into this shade right here. Tapping off the excess because I don't want any fallout on my face. And this is gonna go in this outer corner region right here. It's gonna go a little bit in the crease, but I don't want it to be blended up very far or anything like that. I'll probably take the brush that I applied that brown with just now, and I'll probably use that to blend it. But yeah, this is not going very far up. This is more to like just define and smoke out that outer corner of our eyes a bit more. And my shadow, the shape I'm going for is like a soft cat eye kind of shape. So you can kind of see I got that angle going right now. And yeah, you don't have to shape your eyeshadows like that. I personally like to, and I think that it complements my eye shape really well. But if it ain't your thing, or you don't know, like if you don't know how, you're not comfortable with it, you don't have to, you know, you can do it however you like. But this is how I like to shape my eyeshadow 90% of the time. Alrighty, so both eyes are looking smoky and beautiful. So this is what we should have about now, a nice smoky base. I don't know if I want to use the nude shade in this one or this one. I don't know. I mean, I guess it doesn't really matter because they're both the same. I'll use the one in the Maybelline palette. I think it's slightly more pigmented. I just usually don't use it to set my base. That's why I use the NYX one, because this one is a little bit darker than my skin tone. Like, it's just like a hair darker, but you can notice it, so I never use it to set my base. But I think for like a lid shade, it's not really gonna matter, because just cause. Obviously, we ain't blended, so I'm just taking that itty bitty one from the very last brown shade we used and blending those edges. Okay. So now it's time for the fun part. Actually, before I do that, I'm actually gonna highlight my brow bone and kind of blend that little area there. Okay, so I'm gonna take the black in the Maybelline palette. You could also use like the black in the Naked Smokey palette if you have that palette, or just whatever black you have, but I like the black in this one, so that's the one I'm gonna use. And I'm taking it on a angled liner brush, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do a smoky winged liner. And the way I'm gonna do that is I'm gonna first do my liner like normal with my angled liner brush, and then I'm going to take a brush and like a, where is it? There it is. This is an angled fluffy brush, and it's really thin, kind of like a liner brush, but fluffier, obviously. And I'm just gonna fluff it out, blend it out, make it nice and smoky, and yeah. And if your liner isn't perfect, I don't know if you guys could tell, but mine isn't really. But that's totally okay, because like I said, we're just gonna blend it out anyway. And I'm gonna do one eye at a time. I'm gonna blend this one out before I move on to the next one. I don't know if you guys can tell, I'm just doing like little back and forth motions when I'm blending it out. Oh no! My thing broke. It dropped. Crap! I'll have to clean that up after. Okay, so now that we're looking a little something like this, I don't think my wings are even, but you know, they say sisters, not twins, whatever, so they're sisters. They're definitely sisters. But yeah, I mean, like I said, it's a tedious process. Sometimes it takes me longer to do it than others. It really just depends on how smoky I want it that day, and honestly, how the products are working with me, you know. Sometimes they fight me a little more, sometimes they blend out like a dream. It all depends. But at the end game, we end up with something like this. So I am going to highlight my inner corner, and I'm gonna go into, oh my, didn't realize it was open. I'm gonna go into my NYX Strobe of Genius palette, and let me find, oh dang it, that's not even the right brush I wanted. It's fine, it'll work, it's fine. And I'm gonna go into this like lightest one right here, and that's the one I'm gonna use to highlight. I've already got kind of a little bit of a highlight down because I did put that nude shade in there, but I just like a little sparkle and shine, you know, a little extra brightness. But I don't want to bring it onto the lid too much because I want that area matte. And whatever's left on my brush, I'll just lightly brush underneath my brow. And then for eyeshadow and everything, we're pretty much done. Not pretty much, we are done. All I need left is mascara. And when I do this look, I personally like to keep it top heavy. I just think it really complements my eye shape and everything. But if that's not your thing, you can definitely take like the shadows that we put in our crease and everything, and you can blend them down below, however you like it. But I'm gonna keep it like this. And I'm just using my L'Oreal Voluminous Carbon Black mascara. We're looking like this. And so yeah, I'm actually gonna, I don't know if you guys can see the little spot. I had like a little bit of mascara here, and I think there's a little bit on my lids. I'm gonna let those dry first before I try to take them off with a Q-tip. One, it's just easier that way. It makes it so that they don't really smudge too much on your face. But two, I don't want to mess up this mascara on my lashes because it's still very wet and it'll probably stay wet for a little bit. So I'm going to wait for that to dry and then I'll go clean it up. In the meantime though, we can certainly finish off our face. So first I'm going to bronze my face, and I'm going to be using the NYC Smooth Skin Sunny Bronzer. Okay, so I just finished bronzing up my face, and for blush, now I'm going to use the Tarte Amazonian Clay Blush in Feisty. Looking good. Okay. So now time to highlight, and like I said before, NYX Strobe Genius. I'm not going to use the same, well, I am going to use the same highlight as before, but I'm also going to mix it with this one. So this one and this one mixed together. Beautiful and blinding. Can y'all see that? I hope y'all could see that. Because that's popping. Oh, I love that combination of those two. goodness. So pretty. I kind of like to over highlight my cupid's bow because I don't know if y'all can tell, but my lips are tiny, and so I don't know, I feel like it like makes it look bigger. Probably not. I'm probably just crazy. And last but not least are my brows. I actually almost forgot them, and then I looked down and saw my brow pencil and I was like, oh yes, that's right. It's a really nice like taupey shade, and it goes really nice with my hair. And yeah, so I've actually been picking this up recently over my other brow pencil. That one, to be quite honest, I don't like at all, but it's like a little miniature one. Well, actually, it's like the size of a regular brow pencil, but half of it is gel and half of it is a pencil, so it's like a smaller pencil. I'm just trying to use it up because I hate wasting things. I don't know, I hate wasting a product if it's not like terrible, and it's not terrible, it's just not good. So I've been picking this up more recently. I almost swallowed the wrong way. NYX lingerie in Honeymoon. Looks like this. And alrighty, so this is our completed look. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I hope you guys recreate this yourselves. This is one of my favorite looks to do. It's, I don't know, it just really, like I said, complements my eye shape, and it's just really pretty and smoky, and I think it's really great for fall and winter, but I mean, you can wear it any time of the year. And yeah, so if you guys enjoyed, please don't forget to hit the subscribe button below and like this video, and I hope to see you guys in the next one. Bye!